Good day everyone. I am Leslie Rosales from BSHM2D4 and I am here to discuss about volleyball. So, what is volleyball? Volleyball is an Olympic team sport in which two teams of 6 players are separated by a net. Each team tries to score points by grounding a ball on the other team's court under organized rules. Next is history of volleyball. Volleyball was invented in 1895 by William G. Morgan, physical director of a Young Men's Christian Association in Holyoke, Massachusetts. It was designed as an indoor sport for businessmen who found the new game of basketball too vigorous. Morgan called the sport mintonette until a professor from Springfield College in Massachusetts noted the varying nature of play and proposed the name of volleyball. The original rules were written by Morgan and printed in the first edition of the official handbook of the Athletic League of a Young Men's Christian Associations of North America. The game soon proved to have wide appeal for both sexes in schools, playgrounds, the armed forces, and the other organization in the United States, and it was subsequently introduced to other countries. In 1916, rules were issued jointly by the YMCA and the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA. The first nationwide tournament in the United States was conducted by association was formed in 1928 and recognized as the rules-making governing body in the United States. From 1928, the UCVA, now known as USA Volleyball, has conducted annual national men's and senior men's volleyball championships, except during 1944 and 1945. Its women's division was started in 1949, and the senior women's division was added in 1977. Other national events in the United States are conducted by member groups of the UCAV such as the YMCA and the NCAA. Volleyball was introduced in Europe by American troops during World War I, when national organizations were formed. The Federation Internationale de Volleyball, or FIVB, was organized in Paris in 1947 and moved to Lausanne, Switzerland in 1984. The UCVBA was one of the 13 charter members of the FIVB, whose membership grew to more than 210 member countries by the late 20th century. Next is the rules and regulation of volleyball. 6 players on a team, 3 on the front row and 3 on the back row. Maximum of 3 hits per side. Player may not hit the ball twice in succession. Ball may be played off the net during a volley and on a serve. A ball hitting a boundary line is in. A ball is out if it hits an antennae, the floor completely outside the court, any of the net or cables outside the antennae, the referee stand or pole, and the ceiling above a non-playable area. It is legal to contact the ball with any part of a player's body. It is illegal to catch, hold, or throw the ball. If 2 or more players contact the ball at the same time, it is considered one play, and either player involved may make the next contact. A player cannot block or attack a serve from on or inside the 10-foot line. After the serve, frontline players may switch positions at the net. At higher competition, the officiating crew may be made up of two referees, line judges, scorer, and an assistant scorer. Next is the court dimension. The court is rectangular in shape and measures 18 meters by 9 meters. Net, it is suspended right above the center line at 7 feet to 9 inches for men and 7 feet 3 inches for women. Ceiling height. The ceiling is at a height of 7 meters from the playing ground so that the game is not obstructed in any way. Center line. A line that cuts the court into two halves, which results in two squares of 9 meters by 9 meters. Boundary line. They are the two sides and end line which portray the playing area, and these lines are marked inside the dimension of the court. Service line. This is a 3-meter area marked on each side of the end lines, and the server serves the ball from this area. Attack line. From the center, 3 meters on both the sides of the court is this line which divides each playing area into two zones: the attacking zone or front zone and the back zone. Officiating. Game officials. The first referee, the second referee, the scorer, and the last is 4 linesmen or line judges. Procedure. Only the first and second referees may blow a whistle during the match. The first referee gives the signal for the service that begins the rally. The first and second referee signals the end of the rally, provided that they are such that a fault has been committed and they have identified its nature. They may blow the whistle during the interruption of play, indicating that they authorize or reject a team request. The referee indicates with the official hand signals such as the nature of the fault, the player of the fault, and the team to serve. First referee. A. Location. The first referee carries out his functions seated or standing on a referee stand located at one end of the net. His view is about 50 cm above the net. B. Authority. Directs the match from the start until the end. Has authority over all officials and the members of the teams. Makes final decisions, overrules, and the decisions of other officials. Controls the work of the ball retrieves. Has the power to decide on any matter involving the game. Determine before and during match whether the playing area and the conditions meet playing requirements. C. Responsibilities. Inspect the conditions of the playing area, the ball, and other equipment. Performs the toss with the team captains and control the teams warming up. Second referee. A. Location. The second referee stands at the post outside the playing court on the opposite side of and facing the first referee. B. Authority. Number 1. Assist the first referee although he has his own range of jurisdiction. Number 2. May replace the first referee. Number 3. May signal falls outside the jurisdiction but may not insist them to the first referee. Number 4. Controls the work of the scorer. Number 5. Supervises the team members on the team bench and reports their misconduct to the first referee. Number 6. Controls the players on the warm-up areas. 7. Authorizes the interruptions, control the duration, and rejects improper requests. Number 8. Controls the number of timeouts and substitutions used by each team and reports the second timeout and 5th and 6th substitutions to the first referee and the coach concerned. 9. Authorizes a substitution or recovery time in the case of an injury of a player. Checks the floor condition, mainly in the front zone, and checks during the match that the balls still fulfill the regulations. C. Responsibilities. Checks that the actual position of the players on the court correspond to those on the lineup sheets. Number 2. During the match, the second referee decides, whistles, and signals. positional of the receiving team, the contact of the player with the net and with the antenna on his side of the court, penetration into the opponent's court space under the net, the attack, hit, or blocking faults of the back row players, the ball that crosses the net outside of the crossing space or touches the antenna on his side of the court. And the last is the contact of the ball with an outside object on the floor when the first referee is not in position to see the contact. Next is the scorer. A. Location. The scorer is seated at the scorer's table on the opposite side and the face of the first referee. B. Responsibilities of scorer. The scorer keeps the score sheets according to the rules. First is the prior to the match, it match the scorer. Number 1. Registers the data of the match and teams and obtains the signatures of the captains and the coaches. Number 2. Records the starting lineup of each from the lineup sheet. Next is the during the match, the scorer. 1. Records the points scored and ensures that the scoreboard indicates the right score. Number 2. Controls the serving order of each team and indicates any error to the referees immediately after the service hit. 3. Records the timeouts and player substitutions, controlling their number and informs the second referee. Number 4. Notifies the referees of a request for interruption that is out of order. Number 5. Announces to the referees the end of the set and the score of the 8 point in the deciding set. 6. Records the sanctions, warnings, and penalties. Last is at the end of the match, the scorer, number 1, records the final results. 2. Sign the score sheet and obtains the signatures of the team captains and the referees. Number 3. Write or permits the captain to write on the score sheet a statement on the incident protested if there is any. And the last is the linesman. A. Location. They stand in the free zone at 1 to 3 meter from each corner of the court on the imaginary extension of the line that they control. B. Responsibilities. The linesmen perform their functions by using flags. 1. Signal the ball in and out whenever the ball lands near their lines. Number 2. Signal the touches of ball by the team receiving the ball. 3. Signal when the ball crosses the net outside the crossing, touching the antenna. Last is number 4. Signal the foot faults of the server. And next is how to play volleyball. A player of one of the team begins a rally by serving the ball from behind the back boundary line of the court, over the net and into the receiving team's court. Next, the receiving team must not let the ball be grounded within their court. They may touch the ball as many as 3 times. Next, the rally continues with each team allowed as many as 3 consecutive touches. Next, the team that wins the rally is awarded a point. Deserves the ball to start the next rally. Next, the game continues with the first team to score 25 points. Awarded the set. Matches are best of 5 sets, and the 5th set is usually played to 15 points. And the last is, the ball is usually played with the hands or arms, but players can legally strike or push the ball with any part of the body. So, thank you for listening, and I hope that you gain knowledge about how I discussed the volleyball. So, thank you again for listening.